This man, because I'm completely on board with, but the Seraphine combo will be something else. You do have...
You can play Vigar Zig.
All right, so talk about this. Hanwha is going to ban the Karma now that they are on blue side. Caitlyn is up, and so is Ashe. They first pick Annie, then that's going to respond with Ashe Viego. So they're still going with more or less a pick composition. Take away the Lee Sin and the Elise for Clid. Triggers the Wukong pick. Okay. They take Jax away. Blind for Hanwha. Remove the Blitzcrank. Okay, so apparently this has just been going around. This is just the new virus that's been going around LCK scrims recently. Annie Blitz, and makes sense, especially if you're going to be playing an Ashe in the bot lane. Low mobility, so the Blitz has certain abilities to just take you out. No, Caitlyn. Wow. Nope, there's the Caitlyn. Caitlyn Ashe.
Yeah. Get very rough.
This wasn't the dish I was
Samira, of course. Samira Jarvan. We back.
expecting, guys.
That's why Life was chuckling.
All right, this is the classic Life Jarvan. He has played this to great effect in the past. We remember, he was the god.
So all-in composition here from HLE. Huge amounts of crowd control from Jax, Wukong, Annie, and Jarvan. That'll set up ability for Samira just to get in there, right, on the S rank. So I like this composition a lot. AoE CC, the setup for Samira is super good.
Of set support, these melee gentlemen in the bottom side of the map, he is very good at his.
All right, Keen has played a very good GP, and it works well into Jax because you could just barrel during his counter-strike.
Well, it could be Samira, Annie, Jarvan jungle, Wukong top, Jax mid.
Okay, Atlas, calm down there.
It's definitely Samira Jarvan.
So Jarvan is quite strong into most notably even in the Gangplank, I don't hate it, but into Viego and the Ashe as... I want to see how they navigate level 1, because I don't think level 1 they'll be able to do anything, but like post 6, aiming and lands are not safe, and they will die on cooldown if either Zeka roams, if Comp gets a one, it's because
twirling. Few circles. This is his first oldie but a good for 4th place. Desperately
take a look at the level 1. All right, KT pushing up early.
Doesn't have a lower bracket. Life misses his first flag. Let's remake. You need to hit that first flag.
KT should have level 1 advantage in bot side. Level 2 is where HLE should be able to start putting on pressure, so KT's going to play aggressive early, try and get the early advantage.
And when it comes to Annie, her name is in animations, you know?
If you stretch it in a...
Yeah, learning from G2.
Say it wrong.
But you are a bit of a wacky guy.
Indeed. Indeed, I think it was a good plan by G2.
But I can't help it half the time. Is Clid going to be starting on his
Samira Jarvan.
Same thing to be said here for Cuz. We'll see where they're going to meet on the Rift.
G2's a smart team, guys. Nice to see some of their pro innovations leaking out into the Asian regions.
Here in the beginning is, I believe Hanwha will be
they're already zoned out of one.
Not allowed to play the game.
No.
And if they try to play the game, KT will say no.
Yes.
Well, no. Yeah. Yes. No.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if Viper has gotten any minion XP yet. I know Life has gotten like 1 minion.
Yeah. Life's got a pretty good Jarvan win rate, as we know. When he was on Gen G, him and Ruler really liked to play Jarvan Kalista. That's why I think they were hovering the Kalista, because they wanted to play the Jarvan. They're like, but this lane's really good. And then they're like, but it's impossible to play Kalista into Ashe.
An added problem is that they actually are aware that Clid's on the bottom side of the map. They have a ward in that brush as well to allow them to actually utilize the early prio. And then additionally, the early ganks from a Wukong are not good. Okay, you don't see him anywhere. You have to know that he's there.
Yeah, they do. And they're gonna back away.
Very good.
And get the ward down.
well, you still need to respect, like, well, there's some flag and drag.
Yep, there's the flash immediately. Life now, no flash as well as the autos are coming through. Lahen's kind of baited here a little bit, but the Viego's coming in. You can see the mist. It is streaking through. Frost shot now raining onto Clit. He has to flash as Viper.
Nice turnaround from KT.
But,
they did use 3 summoners for that, though, and they didn't actually get the clapback kill. Forced the recall, however.
They hold on to 3 of their summoners here in this bottom lane, but look at this. KT just bearing down on them. Cuz maybe a little bit too far forward as there's the flag and drag. Lahen's could be in trouble as the turret shot's coming through.
Oh, Lahen's was like, man, we didn't use all our summoners. What if we used all of them instead?
Like, chill. And they are going to, as Kingen is farming in between turrets here in the meantime. Very strange, but okay. Hanwha, as you can see, as the dust settles, Viper's still very far behind when it comes to farm, as Zeka is going to incinerate Santa Claus. Oh, that's a sad...
That's a very big wave. Yeah, it can't actually continue the play there, as this is what we expected. It doesn't make it any less painful.
Yeah.
This is aiming at Lahen's, doing a great job, but also...
Who is Ash Kate ever killing? Well, again, this is going to be a pick composition for KT. So the idea is you arrow somebody, right? And then chain the CC with Gragas, Viego, and then you can explode them with GP, Caitlyn ult, etc. So the setup for the Ash arrow is pretty good.
We already know once 6 rolls around, Aiming and Lands are going to have an insane amount of pressure with their ultimate. Although, you know, Viper actually is a pretty decent spot when it comes to negating Ashe ultimates. Actually, something that we haven't really talked about yet, but with his...
yeah, Bladewell is actually, like, I was going to say it, like, you can't just ace in the hole with Samira.
No.
And you can't just do that.
You can't just fire an arrow either. But they are going to be so far behind pre-6. And that's what I'm really worried about, because if you don't have a level 6 all-in potential into Lahen's and aiming, like, what do you do?
I
dropping
think
plates.
Maybe you leave the lane and try to go somewhere else, or something like that. Cut your losses.
Well, you need to call help. You need to call Zeka or Kled. And that's the only way, is Cuz is using the bot lane cryo to just get himself a free dragon. Very nicely done.
In Australia, we call the RACV, or at least in Victoria.
The what?
RACV.
That is...
Like insurance company.
Okay.
There was a lot of ads, and some of them were funny. Call someone who cares. Call the RACV.
I cannot relate, but I'm glad that happened.
I'm sure there's one guy in chat.
I love how Atlas is just telling stories about Australian advertisements. Atlas, there's only 25 million people in Australia. There are very few Australian people who in the world, and so the reference probably going to go over most people's heads. You know?
Little line, and maybe I'll just leave it at that. As KT ahead by 200 gold, Kingen getting shot, and KT are very, very happy for this game to go as long as you want it to. That's the thing that's a real worry. Hanwha need to have like a mid-game pop-off.
Ooh, that's interesting actually, because I do think that this composition has so much innate team fighting power, even into Gangplank, which is the big worry. Like Gangplank and Caitlyn are two.
Yeah, I mean, I like HLE's like very all-in, engage-heavy 5v5 here.
In terms of like being able to just start up team fights with impunity.
I appreciate that Hanwha last game was like, oh, we didn't have any engage, so what if we just picked all of the engage this game? All of it.
Cognizant of the flash engage ranges, of any possible cataclysms, and they can weather like the first 2 all-ins. Yeah, that's where I think we can call it over. But you can have a like 1-2k goal deficit with this Hanwha comp, but if you layer your ultimates well enough, I do think there's an angle. Particularly because it's Viper on Samira, and I just really want to believe in him.
Yeah, that might be an option there, as Kingen's going to go angry here onto Kane, and Kane just rains cannons from the sky. Alcove Gaming, will it save this Jax? The answer is Leap Strike might, but the Heartbreaker is going to do just that, and Cuz is going to lock down first blood onto the top laner of Hanwha. And that is your first 1,000 in that 2k that you were talking about.
And again, it's Cuz, right? Like, he is up substantially. He was in the benefit of also not having to cover for his bot lane as long as Klid did. And Klid right now is like, he's already a level behind.
This guy has got to get this off his back. Hi. Not sure if this is even relevant to you right now, but I want to point out that OMG versus JD series missing building Crown into Annie plus Mao was criminal.
Oh God. Well, we needed to show that Clid showed on vision,
Yeah.
and so now
That seems pretty bad. Just get your crown popped by saplings.
So they were worried about it. So that's why we showed him, and then we had to show him missing every single CS.
The reason, Atlas.
Wow.
I'm glad that you were able to vent in my Twitch chat. Your first ever message was venting about OMG versus JDG Game 3. Flashless, thank you. I hope you experienced great catharsis on your first Twitch chat on my stream. I'm here for you, Flashless. Whatever analytic points you need to get off your chest. I'm here to listen to you, okay?
During like the middle of the season, but man, when they get the ducks in a row, when they have things
level-looted heretic, 1v1 muted heretic. I don't know what that is. Thank you. Tier 1 sub to Flashless. That's very nice of you to give Flashless that. I hope he appreciates it. Sounds like he's having a rough day.
They might be second by the end of the season. Zeka is taking a lot of damage here. BDD just
He's been tilted for the better part of a week now about this crown on missing support. Oh, LVL looks like M, so muted heretic. That's fair.
Giving people presents. Yeah. Prepping for Christmas. It's a full-time job.
And Annie's E. His crown was down for almost the whole game. No, it's a good point. I think you present a valid analytic point, and you are welcome to share all of your valid analysis here in Bangers Only.
You know, we give people entertainment.
Yeah, and we also get lots of
Flashless. Oh, thank you. You're giving a sub as well. That's very nice of you.
Big.
True.
Try to guess how HLE wins this game. Well, if their composition does its thing, they should just be like 5v5 fighting around a Baron and get massive CC off. I mean, if you get an Annie stun straight into a Wukong ult, straight into a Jax Counter-Strike stun, you should win, right? They've got heavy engage.
He can avoid parlays with his Counter-Strike, but if he's using it defensively, it just means that Keen's life is so smooth. Look at that. Is trial by fire? Yep, there it is. Is this a solo kill angle for Keen? He does break his barrel, so he runs real quick, and he will be able to get the Trinket Ward out and the Leap Strike.
King and I think trying either mistiming or trying to get a predict.
We're developing a nice little community in Bangers Only where everyone can air their grievances with pro player itemization. Anybody else got some pro player itemization grievances?
That's the
Alright.
That's like the one.
Can GP hold off the Jax in the side lane later? I would guess not. But the GP again, KT is Who is the picker now, Zeka? That's how this works, guys, by the way. That's how this composition works. They're playing a very similar style of composition that they did last game. Setting up around the VA go. You also could have potentially seen an Ashe arrow coming in, but the Caitlyn ult is really what's valuable here to add damage from distance. It helps perpetuate the picks. Also helps you set up for picks itself because you can Caitlyn trap around objectives, right?
Oh man,
KT are just reading them like a book. They're like, oh yeah, they're gonna rotate over Zeka because the bot lane is gonna need help. It's not enough. I have a KT is really good at playing these comps now. This is the third game, as I've said earlier. They played this in the game 3 against Gen G last week. And they just setting it up, man. They see him using Sweeper, by the way. They see him using Sweeper, and before the Sweeper actually detects them in the brush, they're already all in with the body slam.
He's gonna die.
And the Viego stun. It's very nicely played.
There's the body slam, there's the stun, and Chain CC
Kablam.
onto Ace, and the hole comes through as well. Another heartbreak. He's gonna die.
Zeka didn't have stun up either. That's a mistake.
Well,
My guy, Zeka, baby.
Chain CC onto
Oh, he did get the stun up eventually on the Timbers. But, you know, if it were me, I probably would have tried to have my stun up before I go face-checking a bunch of brushes. You know what I mean?
They're like, oh yeah, they're going to rotate over Zeka because the bot lane is going to need help.
What age will I let my child play M-rated games? I don't know. He's 2.
They might set up a trap here.
They did. Hawkshot. Hawkshot's like
I haven't gotten that far yet, man.
Man, why didn't we think of this Ashe before?
I'm parenting one day at a time, all right?
That should be a dead lens. Okay, BDD
Not-
making his way over.
not soon.
This Thunderdome is a bit weird because there are kind of rocks in places where we didn't really want them to be, but now the Rift is going to sort itself out. Flash gets BDD to safety. That is a good little pickup onto Lehens. There is now life. Just look at him. He does have Cataclysm.
I can tell you he's not going to be playing M-rated games at 2 years old. I don't know, man.
KT just wants to keep this interesting.
He is a big gamer though. He plays like toddler games, iOS games on my wife's iPhone.
It is a land staple.
It is.
He loves his toddler games.
He also likes, giving his AD carry a bit of solo
This
experience.
trap is one of my favorites, right? Because it's so obvious. You already know that with the bot lane getting shoved in and a lot of movement towards the Drake, you're very aware that this might happen. And then, yeah, Lahens is just that's
His arrow was
very disjointed. It's a Wukong, and there is a Jarvan there, so bit of a question mark moment as all Clid.
Yeah, he's coming over. Let's see what Clid can do to get out of this. Sorry, Keen can do to get out of this one, and that is explode a barrel.
Might as well be an SKT one day. Maybe. I hope Joe Marsh is still there. Joe Marsh seems like he's really easy to negotiate against. So I feel like I could get the bag from Joe Marsh. You know what I mean? I hope Joe Marsh is still there.
But she is still going to be able to get a plate. Clid locks down that money, and now a couple of whacks.
No, I do hope Joe Marsh is still there.
Jack's lamppost. And we'll be able to lock this one down. Arrow sails majestically towards this top side of the map and is going to connect. All right, Lahens. Okay, the barrel, the trial by fire, and you are just dead. I think it was more of a trial by ice.
KT playing so well, man. How do they lose this game?
Is just sniped. Lahens goes from like throwing an arrow point blank. It's like I just have to hold the thought. Cataclysm comes in.
Lahens is popping off. Oh, it doesn't matter if he dies, whatever.
He takes a drink, decides that he just wants to kill a minion wave, and Viper says, no, you're not allowed to do that. And he is going to press the ultimate button. Cuz moving on in. That is a great kill to go over to Viper. That is definitely very, very important.
Oh, they needed that very badly. It's still map in shambles, but that is a really big moment there. Because
I mean, it's the trade is extremely strong for KT. Like, they got plates in bot side. They shoved this minion wave in.
A ward and the wave as well. He had flash available.
I mean, yeah, okay, Gragas dies, whatever. Doesn't matter.
There, right? Like, giving gold over
something.
Could be, but I don't think he was backing. Like, this is the type of moment where if this gangplank gets fed, then he becomes a win condition by himself, and it makes your game so much
already
harder.
I mean, Samira could be very strong. Don't get me wrong. Like, Samira can absolutely pop off in these team fights with the amount of CC and engage that HLE have. If KT positions wrong, they can just lose this game, even if they're very far ahead. If they get, like, multi-Tibber stunned into Wukong ult, into Counter-Strike stun, and Samira is just going to be spinning around in the middle of them, just murdering them.
KT, barring any major mid-game mistakes, which they do need to still be respectful of the Hanwha comp, are just going to run them over.
Oh, he hides it in the wall there as well. But look at how many walls it's hiding in. That's a lot of walls that it's hiding in. And he wasn't in the shop. He was walking around.
He just walks away, knows that the GP passive's going to kill him.
It went through a lot of walls.
Is Zeka a fraud? He's not a fraud. We know exactly who Zeka is.
Bladewell makes
Zeka's a patch Zerg. We knew that. We knew that the whole time. Anyone who'd watched DRX knew that Zeka was a patch Zerg at Worlds. There's no problem with being a patch Zerg, but, like, I mean, did you watch his Azir for most of Worlds? Wasn't incredible.
Didn't end up working out. And there is, as I have mentioned, I do think there's a considerable amount of power in the Hanwha composition, and I'm not going to count them out until they are actually out. And if they can stack some Mountain Dragons, then it's still technically doable. But the form of KT in individual level has just been so
what does
better.
that term mean, please?
I know he's far behind. Viper's not the issue here.
So in StarCraft, the term patch Zerg was used for especially, obviously, Zerg players who were empowered by a specific patch and were only good on that patch. So the implication is because the World's patch was Akali and Sylas, that Zeka was uniquely good.
Essence Reaver into a Quick Blades build, which I love, and is obscenely strong because of the way that Quick Blades and Trial by Fire interact with one another. So you actually get the
major problem of HLE is Clid. Yeah, well,
passive as well, which for good play,
he was doing better the last few weeks, but it was against weaker opponents. He certainly did not look good in Game 1 of this series.
These barrels also starting to do a fair bit of damage.
He has one item.
Yeah, he does. 1 and a bit. A couple of long swords as well. As
KT's Drake control is just something else these days.
This Herald was never meant to actually
is teleporting
charge.
to the outer turret in mid lane.
They are just trying to get this Drake. This Drake is really big for Hanwha. And if you win this game, this fight as KT, I think that you might just win the game. They do need to respect. Zeka has a great flank angle here, but he might get spotted.
Life as well, as the ward goes up. Keen gets the information. Ace in the hole comes in. BDD body slams over. He's the one that's going to be checking Zeka here on this flank, but they have already started off this dragon. And KT, if they do want to fight for this, they need to do something about it.
Makes it hard.
Yeah, and there is Life diving on top of Cuz. I think he wanted to get a knockup. Cannon Barrage comes in here as Kingen going to get bullied out of the way, and now BDD, he's just going to snipe the active Zeka. He goes golden, the stopwatch is so huge, and now he looks for the stun, but it doesn't really work.
Oh, he didn't get it. He tried. I respect Cuz for flashing for that. I respect Cuz flashing for that. He tried for the 50-50.
And KT, they get themselves a pick, but the Drake going to Hanwha is big.
And the
KT, man, they are getting really good at playing at coordinating with these pick compositions, man. Look at this. Like, this is a fight they want, right? They want to isolate. First off, what is Life doing?
And KT, if they do want to fight for this, they need to do something about it.
I mean, Life uses his flag. I see what he was trying to do. He was trying to flash at the end to get the knockup onto Cuz, and it missed. That's too bad. However, that's really well played by BDD. They've done a very good job of dealing with Zeka and neutralizing the Annie threat. Really nice job.
Secure the dragon, so one of them does go over to Hanwha Life. The arrow sails to Narnia and back again. And KT, they get themselves a pick, but the Drake going to Hanwha is big.
And the kill
Rip Life's combo.
Who is going to be even more fat? So yeah, you get that one Drake, but I don't think it's worth it. And I'm just missing the decisiveness that Hanwha needs with this comp. You can't just like sit
and they lose mid tier 1, lose the fight, lose mid tier 1, get a Mountain Drake. Not sure they kill Cuz with the J4 knockup. They don't. They're not set up for it. Look at this coordination, or lack thereof.
They are aware that BDD.
I think maybe they thought that this Jax could come in, but Keen's zoning him out. There's nobody even in range. Like, he gets knocked up, nothing happens, guys. And he would have to flash Tibbers to follow up. But they don't even know what they're doing. They're just walking around back and forth, taking a bunch of poke damage.
Zeka has flash here, right? Like,
that's very badly played by Hanwha.
Because if you die immediately, then actually it's Clid getting it. I don't know if it was red buff.
It's just not well played by Hanwha.
15 health. That was a very precarious scenario. And if KT get that dragon and get the fight win, I think the game's done.
I think it's pretty close already, but I agree.
I think that the dragon does actually.
HLE just felt like they didn't know what exactly they wanted to do right there. And they didn't have the setup to do it. I mean, they couldn't see into the brush, so Kingen was just zoned out by Keen.
They just, like, KT looks so much better. They're decisive.
And if honestly, if Zeka flashes on that, I think he just dies. We go back.
They need to do something about it.
Makes it hard.
Yeah, and there is Life diving on top.
Like, what happens if Zeka flashes here? He doesn't kill Cuz, and I think he just dies. He gets hit by arrow is what happens. If he flashes there, Lehens just shoots arrow at him.
Need to do something about it.
Makes it hard.
Yeah, and there is Life diving.
Like, Lehens is just holding his arrow. You know, he's definitely saving it in case anybody goes in. So Zeka's smart not to flash. He would just gotten arrowed immediately.
Yeah.
It
was very close, but I guess this didn't quite work.
Zeka has flash here, right? Like, when BDD comes in with a body slam, you gotta be ready. Because if you die immediately, then actually it's Clid getting it. I don't know if it was red buff or older, but it went down to 15 health. That was a very precarious scenario. And if KT get that dragon and get the fight win, I think the game's done.
I think it's pretty close already, but I agree.
I think that the dragon does actually make a big difference if they can start stacking more. But what I'm more worried about is just how right now Hanwha is playing. Because they just, like, KT looks so much better. They're decisive.
Yeah.
They're ready for the
I can't believe KT loses this game, by the way. They're playing so much better than Hanwha.
We already talked about the bot lane in great detail. Unless Hanwha
They
Live
really
tries to
feel
be
like they're
proactive,
super
KT
comfortable with
are
these style
clearly
compositions
showing
now.
they're ready to run
Viego is
over
becoming
as
very
we do.
dangerous to let
Yes,
KT
he
have.
is, he's going to counter-strike. He's able to dodge some things. There's the flash. Cannon barrage already able to be used. And Amy
Man, that
is gonna
GP ult
delivered the kill on a silver platter.
is just free, man.
Hanwha going to be able to trade for a turret here on this top side as Clid will come on over. BDD.
HLE's lane assignments are garbage, by the way.
To be able to take this one, just brute force. That one is
They
gonna
lose
go
so
down.
much
There's
farm.
at least a trade there. But aiming is fighting against Viper. And the arrow is going to sail by once again majestically. What? I guess there's no one here, so it doesn't really matter.
Top to back. They're going to get another.
Still, guys, we saw that.
Now they force the TP.
Nicely done there by BDD.
Yeah.
So what
Wait,
happened was,
what?
I think
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But
Gragas?
still, guys, we
Oh, BDD, you tricky devil.
saw that.
He casked the Annie out of. He ulted the Annie out of TP.
Cancelled. Nicely done there.
KT's cross map awareness is crazy good, guys.
Yeah.
So what happened was
Look at their cross map awareness this game. They've hit all these cross map arrows, cross map GP
I
ults.
think Zeka was going to
They know
cancel,
what
make sure that
they call out the
Live's
TP on the
back,
bottom
make
turret.
sure that
BDD
Live's
goes and
cancels
stops
back.
it. They are just
So
clapping
miscommunication there,
Hanwha.
And then Zeka tried to TP towards the bot side turret so that it wouldn't get double turret, and then it got cancelled.
And so then they got double turret. And so
Yeah,
now
no,
we're sitting at 4.5k.
Yeah, I think it's done. There's always
KT's
ways
comm is supposed to be
for
really good
composition
right
with
now.
Much AoE like damage and CC to win, but I don't see it.
So in our analogy where the game is the fish, where is the fish?
I think we're
For
reeling.
KT.
I think we're reeling it in. But the
KT
big part
legit
is
looks
the
like a very
fish,
good team, guys.
Maybe like attached to the fish is a sea snake. And I
Can't
think
wait for them to
Mike
lose to all the
is
garbage
gonna
teams
try.
next week.
So
No, let's not overcomplicate it. Because
Okay.
the fish can still
The
break
fish can
free.
okay.
And so it's added.
Cuz has been
gusto.
popping
But I
off
love
recently, man.
overcomplicating things.
I know, and you like the sea snake thing as well.
because he's a viper.
He is a. I know. I understand.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
Dom
whether
1
a
stomped
sea
them.
snake
Yeah,
and
Dom 1
fish
did
would
stomp
really be
them,
doing,
but
hanging out with
Well,
that
maybe they're
KT went through an
buddies.
identity crisis that week.
True.
know.
Like
I'm guessing finding Nemo. they were
aiming
hanging out
aiming
with
and
friends.
Lahens have been pretty bad at playing Lucian Nami, and they took
Yeah,
at those games just to
I guess,
deny it
although I
from
think the
Deft
Sharks
and
were still
Kellen.
dangerous.
And
They were
I mean, they spent that whole week, also the games against T1, just trying to steal their opponent's picks and playing them badly instead of playing their own style. And they look a lot better. They've looked a lot better this week since they've switched it up. I think the game against Gen G in this game really shows that they've got kind of dimension to them now, because they're not just like, oh, let's play Zeri and then Karma Ezreal, right? And we'll scale into the late game and BDD will pop off on Azir. Now they're actually playing very proactive pick compositions. They're playing extremely well around Vision. So they have some more depth to their strat book now. And they look really good in both styles.
You're 5K gold
I think what KT did was they got exposed. They got exposed and they went back and were like, oh shit, like we need to be able to do things that don't revolve around us getting Karma, Sejuani, and Jax. Because if those are banned from us or taken away, we need a different way to win a game of League of Legends. And so it looks like it's coming to fruition now.
Yeah, but King's harder, right? Because he has oranges.
Because they're still scary if you give them the Karma.
It might be harder to kill him, but he also does like all of the damage.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, look at that TP.
Yeah, King in. Unseen
Like that.
for now, as we can see, thanks Jonah Strong.
Need the backline access, but Cuz has already started up this Drake.
He has life, taking a bit of damage from these barrels here. As Cuz is going to back away.
Oh, they have no idea.
The flank angle. Kingan's going to move in. Cuz in a lot of trouble, does go golden. Arrow will connect at least for a moment. As the Tibbers comes down, but only onto one target. They do get rid of the Viego.
That's good to get rid of the Viego first. All right. Fair enough. HLE played that well.
A bit of damage from these barrels here.
The mistake here, guys, is that you don't want to start the Drake.
Oh, they have no idea.
You don't want to start the Drake if you're KT. The whole purpose of this composition is to catch them in the middle of a rotation to objectives. If you give them the free engagement like this, then they are going to win. Hanwha's composition is just it's the engaged kingdom, you know.
barrage was utilized in the fight.
You have to get into a position to pick one of them off with KT's comp, or to create zones with Caitlyn traps and GP barrels. So you need actual setup. You need vision setup, and you need ability setup. You can't just like do Drake.
Waiting on a flank angle, so it was a bit scary, and KT kind of flubbed that fight. Definitely a good little moment.
And then you definitely can't lose Viego first, right?
Kingen finding himself some value, right? Like 0, 3, and 1 now on the Jax. Just shows that Counter-Strike is still Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's that and the.
That's what's scary about Hanwha Life's composition, though, is that it's one bad fight. Very scary for KT.
If they went aggressive here, because the one wing.
All right, Jarvan Zhonya's first. Why not? Why not?
Along, and get a mountain sword.
Oh yeah.
Because there's not that much he can do. Cuz gets caught off guard here. Gets close to 100 to 0. Does stay alive for a
The mistake is just starting the Drake.
With the flash W and the Tibbers follow-up. And then Life,
You have to be much more methodical in your approach. Like what we saw KT doing when they were sieging the Nexus in that last game, you have to be very cautious.
Right from the onset.
And just take territory just a little bit at a time. And not play into their engage or their team fight.
You know, the fish is still on the reel.
Oh, it
and it's still getting reeled in.
We gave it a bit of slack, though. I think the fish definitely has a bit more slack now.
Wait, there's Hawkshot.
Yeah, Hawkshot, please.
Lens hasn't used it yet. I think they have a clue as to what.
No, they definitely know it's being done.
Yeah, Cuz gets that control ward in the pit. Now KT are going to move over. Kingen's actually pretty low. Ace in the hole comes in. And Kingen going to dive on top of Keen here. I don't know whether that's the target you want to be engaging on. He's got a shield bow, and Zeka almost just straight up dies.
He also has oranges.
This gangplank, who gets the 50 gold from
okay.
Tibbers.
All right.
And
Not the target I would have picked.
Mid-game turret or mid-lane turret getting pushed here. KT's ready. It looks initially like the play.
Good reaction from KT, just push mid.
Says Baron need a lot more time to actually take it out. Not going to be the case. Aiming. Unbothered, and we talked about the cleanse. Look at this itemization from aiming. Getting a QSS here is so big because it really limits the amount of.
He's been pretty good on these barrels. Yeah, I mean he's been very good on the GP this season. He's had some monster GP games. He had a good one against Genji as well.
Which will help him out a lot. I am happy to see some signs of life. I think Hanwha is still in a very bad spot in this game, as they are attempting Baron while being a good 5.5k gold behind.
Feels like a little bit of desperation, but it means that they need to
QSS on aiming.
Move on over to them, and then they can use that pick potential to lock.
I mean, I
down,
guess he didn't
like
take
this,
cleanse
if the game just goes neutral, like
because he didn't need it for lane.
Keen inside, like aiming always going to be out of siege so much better, right? Like Hanwha's composition needs to try and find that one target that's kind of walking.
Oh man, I do not feel good today, guys.
And so just going for these sort of Hail Marys, I think makes some sense. And also,
we'll see if he gets value out of the QSS.
Like, it's either
the engage is pretty scary.
You kind of roll over.
No, it's not like he can't get flash tibbered.
You don't really want to see that.
Just flash tibbers them.
Exactly.
That's what you need. Look at the vision control on the top side of the map from KT, and.
I want to see all the circles working in conjunction. You know, I want to see Cyclone and the S rank. You know, like
I haven't seen that. I don't know if we're going to with how this game is played out. Yeah. There's so many threats from KT. Even the Gragas, which is the sole AP source here, and there's a lot of itemization towards armor, which makes sense. You want to itemize because Keen is fed. Cuz even though he died, is still fed, and aiming speaks for itself, but. Also means that BDD in longer fights is still going to do a very respectable amount of damage. And yeah, still 5.5k that they are in a deficit here is Hanwha. and the main issue is that Hanwha, if they start up this Baron or this Dragon, this Fur Drake, I'm pretty sure KT's just going to say, okay, we're going to do Baron. Like, we're going to immediately pull the trigger. We're not going to try and force a fight here, because that is the one thing, particularly on Mountain Rift, I do think it can be really hard not to kind of clump up and get put into choke points. And Hanwha are looking to contest this Dragon, right? Like, look at the amount of flank wards that they've already set up for Zeka and Kingen.
Oh, absolutely.
Clid?
Clid? Oh, no. That's an overextension.
What the hell, Clid?
Heartbreaker will come down, and Ace in the hole was
okay. What was the point of that?
For Zeka and Kingen.
Oh,
What is he
absolutely.
doing? He literally died to clear a zombie ward? Used Q for that.
Cleared. Oh no, that's an overextension. Cyclone comes in, another Heartbreaker will come down, and Ace in the hole was used
What the
onto a
fuck,
coin
man?
just for fun, just to point out which one was the wrong one, and that is Dead Jungler. I don't know what Clid was doing there, but it was the wrong move. And they will be able to take this.
What is he doing?
Before this Drake is going to spawn, KT should be able to collect that as well. Oh man, talk about punished for a mistake. That is just insane.
They also just are able to clear the Baron before the Drake even spawns, so they are able to TP back.
It's anticlimactic.
Holy shit.
You could feel Homo Life
TP is
still
huge, by the way.
Possible shot here. Not gonna be the case. That pick right there gets in the Baron.
That launched the fish onto the boat from the Chronicler.
It's done. I don't think the odds for Hanma were great pre that catch, but that catch, like, that to me solidifies it. Like, the amount of gold you're going to get from this Baron buff now.
The arrow will sail by.
You get soul point as well. You take away win condition.
I actually can't believe KT lost this game.
Like,
they have a 7,000 gold lead. They're on soul point and they have Baron. What the fuck? How did they lose this?
In this moment. And Clid getting
And they're just playing better.
They just couldn't afford that to happen. Yes, there were a lot of things that were already in a rough spot, right? Like the 3 items sitting on Keen, as well as his 50 CS advantage, 302 Gangplank level 17, 2 levels above everyone. Like, yeah, that's a tough situation to deal with here.
Try to guess. I mean, there is still an everybody gets CC'd and Samira spins around angle.
Oh, maybe a trap here. I do like this. Oh, they know the control ward as well.
Yeah, Clid moving on over. Life is in. There's the teleport.
Nice TP.
Life is going to be blocked from this one. Lahen's trying to kite this one out as Aiming's trying to work out where he wants to be. Life is going to deliver himself onto the hands of the Caitlyn. Cuz going to lock down the kill though, and now Clid trying to dance around BDD with the party cast. Don't know whether he wants that. As Samira kind of ulting nothing. And the Annie's going to be able to take down the
clown
Caitlyn.
fiesta.
Okay, BDD locks one up as well as Viper gets another one in the fight, but he's going to go down solo. Oh my god, the trial by fire doing so much work. Lahens is the one to finish him off in the end, and now Kingin and Zeka against the world. Counter-Strike comes in.
Oh, wow, nice kill by Kingin.
And Zeka, what have you got for us?
You're still stuck over here.
To deliver here is at least they do manage to deal
Where's the
with
Ash Arrow cooldown?
another
Oh, it's almost up, guys. Ash Arrow's almost up. Here we go. It's up.
They might be able to get out.
Can we talk about the observers for LCK for a second? What's sexy observing?
Up and available.
I'm looking for this arrow, and then as soon as the arrow's up, zoom onto Ash. They know. Oh.
They might be able to get out.
They know.
And okay, Kingin moving on over.
Yes,
Best observers world.
Out of range. Okay, BDD, where are the heroics?
Where are they going?
I don't know.
There's nowhere to go.
Where's KT going? Is Zeka is
Oh
my goodness. Okay, the execute comes through. And BDD Zeka might just make it out.
I think Zeka does make it. Oh, no.
Oh, no, Heartbreaker does come in, and that was heartbreaking for everyone that wanted the Annie to survive. And Cuz going to be able to lock that one down, and they've now kind of distorted the backs here a little bit.
But that's a win for Hull. It's not a great win, Atlas, but hey, look at that Baron buff timer.
There we go. I got very confused. Let's have a look at this one. Make sense of it for me, Chronicle.
Well,
I mean, I can't believe that I thought HLE had a very good angle here because of the deep ward that they could TP in on with Zeka, and the fact that aiming is stuck, right? But he's able to flash out. Not sure. Does he use his? The question is, when does he use his QSS?
There we go. I got very confused. Let's have a look at this one. Make sense of it for me, Chronicle.
Well, it's very confusing. So everything.
Did he use it right there? It's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to see the effects when it's zoomed out.
Very confusing. So
no, nope, he doesn't use it there.
Trying to kill aiming, but you can see like KT credits to their game sense. They're already aware that.
They were already in the rotation, which is good.
Unfortunately,
a lot of missed abilities though.
Getting a lot of value there, and it takes a while for Keen to arrive.
And actually, I wasn't watching aiming. When did he use his? You
can see like KT credits to their game sense. They're already aware that this might be happening. Unfortunately, BDD not really getting a lot of value.
Oh, use the QSS there on the Timbers, okay.
It takes a while for Keen to arrive, and that's the only reason this is even remotely close. As once Keen gets here, as we can see, he is a big problem. And Viper ends up going down to a volley of all things. Lahens with the flash, but then the Counter-Strike value here is really, really big. ends up taking down the
Could have been a lot worse if the GP didn't die.
So
Nice play by Kingen.
that was a
Yeah, I don't know how big.
relatively-
I don't know how much value this QSS is, guys, because the QSS basically got him one more auto,
but the
than he would have
overall
had,
still very bad
right?
Yeah,
for Hanwha.
It basically got him one more
got
auto.
less worse than it could
Yes.
have
After
got
being
if they
Tibbers.
just
Been
got
worse.
aced.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, and,
So we're
and-
going to go with less worse.
well, no, because you're trading up until the point where they lost their choices. Well, you're trading even,
Yeah.
so that's good.
And
Yeah, but now
also,
when you're
I mean, the only thing you're going to be able to
only bigger
QSS
now.
is Counter-Strike and anti-stun, because you can't Counter-Strike, or you can't QSS
Um,
the
1
knockups
minute
from
and 20
Jarvan or
seconds
Wukong.
until the Drake
So I guess I don't like the
all
QSS here,
thinking about is
in
gonna be
conclusion.
available. Mountain Soul on the
I don't
table
think
for KT.
it provides a lot of value.
Equalization of soul points.
If the anti's on top of you, you're probably already dead.
Zeka.
Like we saw.
Okay, there's a cast. He's going to spend a lot of time here in this cannon barrage, and that's not where you want to be. Keen's going to be able to lock down that kill.
I want to commend KT for the use of semi-global and global ultimates, because they were the one team that has made Twisted Fate look really good, right? And
Yeah.
the key to Twisted Fate is being able to really rely on the destiny and how it impacts fights. We've seen... Oh, Keen, are you dead?
Well, he's going to see that he might be dead, as the barrel's not really going to work out here, and yep, there he goes.
But-
Viper locking down the kill is big.
Okay, that's really big, because that's like a BF sword for Viper, and also that's no Keen on the Drake. Like, he's not going to be alive, even with TP. If Hanwha rush this, they can get this objective.
They can. They're going for a bit of a reset now. 23 seconds.
Yeah, after seeing it,
should
I think the
straight down.
QSS is just no value.
Life is a long way away from...
Oh, yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to actually...
I think Kane's going to have ult when he comes back.
I think
up as
having the
well.
faster rapid-fire cannon would have been better than having
yeah,
QSS.
But, like, it's going to spawn in about 5 seconds.
Keeps you out of danger.
Really hope that they are able to get it, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. So it's just going to be a 5v5.
So 9,000 gold lead.
That's good enough.
HLE tried to
Or
force
it may
that fight,
not.
ended up
Might just
losing
be a
it.
give.
I suppose they did release some Baron pressure.
Collector is done for Keen. Interesting. He's got a broken stopwatch. Would like that one to be brand new, but that's
TP.
fine. And
Yeah.
now the TP is going to come forward. So
All or
Keen's back
nothing.
up. Cannon Barrage is available. We are at an even game state between the two squads. A fresh buy here for Viper is now Cuz chasing after Clid once again. He gets taken down to half. Teleport to come back once again here from Zeka as Blastcone just brings BDD and King into their own personal party. And Hanwha once again back on the Dragon.
Look at
Life
the poke.
50% health.
They're already so low.
Yeah, Clid can't stick around. And KT
Kingen's on
looking for
Kingen.
those angles. Look at this, Lahen's perfect position to throw an arrow. He connect. Oh, beautifully Blade World there. from
Yeah,
Viper.
nice job by Viper.
But
Baron reset.
it might be a teleport back in angle here for Kingen. KT are going to try and pull the Drake back into their own hands. This is a very strange dance between the two. Cuz slinks into the mist one more time. More backs flying forward. Standing on these
Frozen
traps
Art
over
is-
and over again.
Big buy. Are we going to flip it?
Well, I think that's it's going to be the option here. As Clid's on it, Cuz can you get in? Cannon Barrage right on top of Viper as they dive forward. The Drake is going to be secured by Cuz, but at what cost? Here's the question. The gangplank
Oh
has
my
already gone down.
God.
Viper's popping off in this fight so far. BDD going to be taken down, and now Lahen's is going to be the next one to fall. Hanwha, they lose the Drake, but it's only Cuz left alive.
Oh, I don't think they have enough time. 30, 45 seconds until everyone is up. They're going to try.
I didn't realize that it was actually late game Samira that was going.
Aiming has all his summoners up, by the way.
It's going to be secure. It's going to be the option here.
Remember how we said, like, KT can just let some of these objectives go? And if they have this pick composition that maybe they don't want to start the Drake or force the Drake fight, you want to catch people in the rotation. I mean, this is the second time where they've tried to go in onto these Drakes. The cask is terrible. I mean, it's a double flash forward. Thank you, Health Center, for the Twitch Prime sub. And yeah, you get. Isn't this what you bought QSS for?
Right on top of Viper.
He just gets chained. He just gets stunned and knocked up by the Wukong. Maybe he couldn't use the QSS. I don't know. But I feel like you have to assume they're going to flash turn on
I
you.
think that's it's going to be the option here. Has Clids on it.
Right?
Can you get in? Cannon
Like, this is so predictable.
right on top of Viper as they dive forward. Well, I think that's it's going to be the option here. Has Clids on it.
But you can also give this up. Remember, there's no shame in giving this up. You could literally just turn on to Baron. Like, KT can just walk away.
Can you get in? Cannon barrage right on top of Viper as they dive forward. The Drake is going to be secured by Cuz, but at what cost? Here's the question. The gangplank has already gone down. Viper's popping off.
But I think the real mistake here isn't about the QSS. It's the fact that aiming should anticipate the flash engage.
Well, I think
Like, they shouldn't be clustering up. Like, you shouldn't be clustered up. And you have to assume that they can flash onto you. Like, this is the mistake. The mistake is this clustering, guys. You're all, like, trying to force yourselves to this little choke point. It makes it too easy. I mean, that is exactly... You are giving Hanwha Life the exact scenario to win this game. Right? It's like clumping up against a Malphite ult. You can't clump. No clumping allowed. And you can't get too horny for the soul. Like, you have wiggle room. Yeah, it sucks if they get on soul point, but who cares? You have a massive gold lead. Just go play for vision around Baron and then get a pick.
The Drake is going to be secured by Cuz, but at what cost? Here's the question. The gangplank has already gone down. Viper's popping off in this fight so far. BDD going to be taken down. And now Lehens is going to be the next one to fall. Hanwha, they lose the Drake, but it's only Cuz left alive.
Oh, I don't think they have enough time. 30, 45 seconds until everyone is up. They're going to try.
I didn't realize that it was actually...
They win the fight if Gragas, GP, and Ashe don't grief. Yeah, I mean, the GP and Gragas ults were also super bad.
I don't think that's the time. I think they can take the inhib and then they got to piece out. But they might also feel like this is their all or nothing moment, Atlas.
They could go for it.
They're going to try.
Yeah, Cuz.
Oh my god.
Can you
10
protect this?
Holy moly, Health Center. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. It's very generous of you. I could use some Health Center with this cold that I have right now. Unreal. KT played better for like 90% of that game.